guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am currently backpacking around Europe for 2 months, going all over using the URL, and I'm making videos about my experiences, tips, vlogs, anything like that. If you're new here, subscribe, join if you want to find out more about traveling, backpacking, finance, a little bit about that. But let's get right into today's video, scrap all of that. Today we're going to be talking about
the dark sides of backpacking.
Things nobody talks about, no one tells you about, warns you about. There is a bad side to it, or it depends on what you think bad is, but there is a dark side to backpacking. So let's get right into the top 5 dark things about backpacking. Okay, so number 1 would be hostels. So I've made a few videos of what hostels look like. Currently, I am in a hotel, and it's the best hotel we've stayed in the entire time. It's so nice. They provide towels, they provide sheets, but that goes right into the darkness of backpacking. It is not all glamorous, okay? Some of the hostels don't provide bed sheets. They don't give you any towels. The bathroom leaks all over the floor. There'll be one bathroom for 35 people, and I'm not joking. We stayed in one that was like that. So hostels are not oftentimes comfortable, so you have to be okay with the fact that, first of all, you have no personal space. They're dirty. Like, we stayed in one hostel where the pillow, I don't think they've washed that pillow since 1982. It smelled like BO, and it didn't have a pillow cover, and unless you have one, you're screwed. I looked below. I bought an actual bed mattress cover thing, and so I've been sleeping with that. I'll link it down below if you guys want that. But point is, hostels are not glamorous. We have been to a few that are great, but some that are like really bad. So you got to be prepared for the idea or the thought behind that you might be staying in a not so nice place the entire 2 months of your stay. So make sure you're prepared for that. Along with the hostels, not every hostel has laundry, and oh my god, when you have a backpack full of only a certain amount of clothes, be prepared that you're gonna have to do laundry, even though some places might not have laundry, and that might mean going to laundromats, washing your clothes in the sink, saving up all of your dirty clothes until you literally don't have anything left and you're desperate. So keep in mind, laundry, no one tells you, no one brings up the fact that you have to do laundry. They're like, it'll last, whatever. But like, even today, we finally got to this hotel, which was only $22 a night, by the way, and we had to give all of our clothes to do laundry because the last 3 places we could not find anywhere to do laundry. So keep that in mind when you are backpacking. Your clothes you already have a limited supply, and then you're already gonna have to wash them in places that sometimes don't let you wash them. So keep that in mind. Number 2 would be food, and food is amazing in Europe. People often travel just for the food, for the opportunity to try new foods, get out of their comfort zone, try the best cheeses and chocolate. And although there is tons of that, there's also tons of times where you're going to go hungry, and not because of the money or anything like that, but just because the travel time cuts into a lot of the time where you would be eating. And for example, yesterday we traveled all day, and I think I ate breakfast and then vending machine snacks the rest of the day because we were on trains with no food the entire rest of the day, and then at night everything was closed. So keep in mind that some days you are going to go a little bit hungrier. Like, I guarantee if I weighed myself, I've probably lost a few pounds just because of the fact that every 2-3 days we are traveling, and those days you don't get to eat very much. So keep in mind that you're not always going to be well fed and eating these amazing foods, although you do get the opportunity to every once in a while. Number 3 would be the train system, which although I'm so grateful for, we are using the URL, by the way, to get around. The trains can be confusing as heck. It's not super easy going from a country, at least a state in a country where the public transportation is not often used, to a countries where public transportation is everything, okay? So buses, trains, metros, that is all you use to travel. And when you're from the United States, at least a state that doesn't use public transportation, it can be very, very confusing. I honestly can't even count the number of times on my hand that we got lost and it added an hour, 2 hours. Even yesterday, we were supposed to get to Germany I think it was at like 6 and we got here at like 9:30 because of the trains, and no signs are in English, and sometimes people don't speak English, and so you'll go up to 40 people and ask for help, and each one will point you to a different train, and you'll get on, you're going the wrong way, or the metro says this way but you really can't get on at that time, or it's just very, very confusing at first, especially in countries where you do not speak the language and English is not primarily spoken. And so do keep in mind that you are probably going to get lost, and you just gotta accept it, breathe in a little bit, and get on another train, get where you're going. It does take a lot of talking to the locals and asking for help. You're going to be asking for help constantly from people, but I think that that is one of the cool things, that you get to talk to people and make connections. There's been tons of times where we met the coolest locals on the trains that ended up talking to us the whole hour and a half train ride about their whole life and experiences, which was an amazing experience. But that doesn't take away from the fact that sometimes when you're starving and tired and ready to get to your hotel, you lost the train 3 times and added an extra hour, and that blows. Number 4 is kind of going along with this. I touched on it slightly, but travel days are oftentimes very, very long. So if you look on the Eurail, it'll say anything like 3-hour train ride or 2-hour train ride, but keep in mind when you are planning your travels that does not mean you're gonna get there in 2 hours. So you have to keep in mind that you have to get the time to get from your hostel or hotel to the metro train station. Oftentimes switch a couple times from a bus to a metro to a train, anything like that. You also have to stop at the information desk oftentimes and book a seat, which you can't do through the app oftentimes, so you have to wait in line for that. Then your train might not be scheduled for another hour or 2 since when you want to leave, so you might go around the city, come back, that adds extra time, and then again the train will oftentimes leave, but you might miss the wrong train, or like something else that happens is you'll have 3 connecting trains and they all have like a 5-minute split between the 2. So if you miss one of those trains, you've missed the other 2 because 5 minutes between each train, and they were always on time. So don't expect it to be like 20 minutes late, because it's not ever going to be. So travel days take a lot out of you. They're very long, and personally, we are going to a new country, a new city every 2, 3, 4 days, honestly. So it is a lot of travel, so make sure you have something to do on the train or the bus. I personally edit these videos, I work on things like that, but if you're not, make sure you bring a book, make sure you bring something that doesn't require Wi-Fi, because oftentimes they do not have Wi-Fi. So anything sort of like game you could play if you're traveling with someone, like cards would be a great idea. Maybe an eye cover because you want to sleep, something like that. So keep in mind that travel days are going to be very, very long and very, very exhausting oftentimes. Last and but not least, the 5th worst thing about backpacking, although guys, I think backpacking has been way more than worth it, but these are just the things I would want to know that are possibly the bad things that you do have to prepare for. But number 5 would be your bag is very, 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 very heavy. Again, I'll put a video of me up here with my bag so you can see it. It is a 55-liter Osprey bag. It is down in the description below if you want the exact same one. First of all, I have so many good things to say about Osprey. At the end of this trip, I am going to do a review of the bag in very much detail so you guys can see if you want to get the bag. But it is very heavy, and partially because I filled it to the brim, I didn't want to be lacking on clothes or anything that I needed, so I definitely packed everything that I wanted. But because of that, on travel days, you're walking with my bag. I weighed it, it's like 24 pounds, so it is very, very heavy. And on top of that, I have my camera equipment, tripod, camera, all that in a separate bag. So your bag can become very heavy, and normally that is not a problem because you just leave all your stuff at the hostel, bring your camera bag or something small. But on travel days, when you're walking 30 minutes to the train station, 30 minutes to the other train, an hour, it gets heavy. So keep in mind that either work out before you come so you can carry that bag, or just know that some of the days you're going to be wanting to die because your bag is so heavy and you just want to sit down and you can't because you're traveling, because you're walking to the hostel or whatever it is. So that would be my top 5 worst things about backpacking. If you guys want the top 5 best things by any chance or anything else, just leave me ideas in the comments that you guys would like to see, because I want to do videos that you guys want to see, that you guys find entertaining. Please leave a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe please. We're so close to 1,000 subscribers. We're so close. And I'll see you guys on my next video. Goodbye.